Sometimes history turns on a single, shocking act. For 17th century Europe, that moment came when a group of angry nobles decided the best way to deal with their political rivals was to throw them out of a window. This wasn't just a petty squabble. This was the Defenestration of Prague, the spark that ignited the devastating 30 Years' War. Imagine this, it's May 23rd, 1618. Tensions are boiling over in Bohemia, part of the Holy Roman Empire. The newly crowned king, a devout Catholic named Ferdinand, is cracking down on Protestant freedoms. Protestant nobles are furious. They march to Prague Castle, confront two of the king's governors, and after a heated argument, they heave the officials and their secretary straight out of a third-story window. It's a 70-foot drop. Incredibly, all three survived, landing in a pile of manure that cushioned their fall. Catholics called it a miracle. Protestants just said they were lucky. But luck had nothing to do with what came next. This act of defiance was a declaration of war. The Bohemian estates officially rejected Ferdinand as their king. In his place, they elected a young Protestant prince, Frederick V of the Palatinate. They hoped for support from other Protestant rulers, thinking this would be a quick, decisive fight for their religious freedom. They were wrong. The conflict didn't stay local for long. The Habsburg family, to which Ferdinand belonged, was one of the most powerful dynasties in Europe. They weren't about to let a rebellion go unpunished. Catholic powers like Spain and Bavaria rallied to Ferdinand's side, while Protestant states hesitated, unsure of how to respond. The dispute escalated from a Bohemian revolt into a continental showdown. The decisive moment came on November 8, 1620, at the Battle of White Mountain, just outside Prague. The imperial Catholic army faced off against the Bohemian rebels. The battle was a disaster for the Protestants. In just a couple of hours, their army was completely crushed. Frederick, who became known as the Winter King for his short reign, was forced to flee. The aftermath was brutal. The Habsburgs reconquered Bohemia with an iron fist. Protestant leaders were executed, their lands were confiscated, and Catholicism was ruthlessly reimposed. This initial phase of the war, the Bohemian Revolt, set a grim precedent for the decades of conflict that followed. It was a brutal mix of religious fervor, political ambition, and savage repression that would tear Europe apart for the next 30 years. Thanks for watching. If you found this dive into history interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the past. See you next time.